Hi, I'm Rachel Hardison. I'm the University Relations Coordinator at USAC, based in Columbia, South Carolina, and I work with universities across the Southeast. So Virginia down to Florida, over to Mississippi, with Kentucky in there as well. And so I'm here today to give you some general information about study abroad, and study abroad specifically with USAC. So we'll talk about why you should study abroad and what USAC is and how you can get started in the process of planning your own study abroad. So I'll go ahead and get started. So, as a study abroad alum, not through USAC, but many years ago, I studied abroad when I was an undergrad in Germany. I was a German major and I spent a semester in Germany, and then I actually went back after I finished college and spent 2 years in Germany teaching. So I'm definitely a strong supporter, and I think it's hard to fit in all the benefits of studying abroad in just a few bullet points on a slide. But these are, some of the most important ones that we want you to keep in mind when you're considering studying abroad. So, definitely one of the benefits is you get to stay on track with your degree while also going abroad. So, the idea is not that you spend a semester or summer or academic year, in another country taking classes that then do not count towards your degree and you end up getting behind. That is definitely not, not the plan. That is a myth often of study abroad. So we work with you to provide you with course information, syllabi that you may need, and you work with your home university, your academic advisor, your academic departments to decide which courses you can take while you're abroad that will count towards your degree at home, so that when you come back from studying abroad, those credits transfer, meet whatever requirements you have, and then you just, slide right back into where you were, when you get back to campus. So you stay on track. Very important. Also building your resume. This is an experience that only about 2% of US college students are having right now. And so it definitely sets you apart if you keep that in mind in terms of highlighting it on your resume, talking about it in interviews, connecting the experiences you had with professional skills that employers are looking for. It's not just a golden ticket just by listing it on your resume, because some employers, maybe they didn't study abroad, so they don't necessarily understand the benefits. So it is a career building, resume building experience, and you also need to think about how to articulate that when you're applying for jobs. Of course, gaining cross-cultural skills, which again are not only important in your personal life, but also in any job, any career, that you have. You're going to need those cross-cultural skills: communication, problem solving, understanding different perspectives, being adaptable and flexible, dealing with ambiguity. These are all skills that you develop while you're studying abroad, and they're really important to you academically, personally, and professionally. You'll have the opportunity to develop new relationships and networks. So those may be, personal friendships, personal relationships. I have friends that I studied abroad many years ago, and I'm still in touch with those friends. And it was a defining moment of my college career, but also my life. And it means so much to me that they're still a part of my life. We have that shared experience. That we can always connect on, wherever we live and wherever our lives take us. So those personal relationships are so important. And also your networks, your professional networks. You're going to be meeting students from other US universities, other international universities, students from the country where you're studying abroad. Perhaps you complete an internship while you're abroad or volunteer, somewhere in the community. Those are networks that you're building with people all around the world. And those are very important. So they can only help you. And, the opportunity of living abroad before being tied to a career, tied to a mortgage, tied to a spouse, tied to a pet, tied to, all of the things that we acquire as we get older outside of college or after college. And it's a lot harder to just kind of pick up and move. You also don't necessarily have the funding. You might have a job with a salary that allows you to go to Italy for a week for vacation, but not to go to Italy for 4 months to live. So this is the best time. Use your financial aid and your scholarships and take advantage of the time that you have, to live abroad. So definitely a few of the benefits, not all of them. It's not an exhaustive list, but some that we like to highlight. In terms of getting started and, choosing your program, you have a lot of resources through USAC to find the program that's going to, meet your needs. So in terms of identifying courses, I would say courses and cost are probably the two main factors that students take into account, when planning their study abroad, although certainly not, the only two, but you definitely want to find a program that has courses that are going to meet your requirements, your degree needs, and it has to be something you can afford. So, you can look on our website at programs and see what areas of study you can find, that match up with your own major, different program models that are available to you. And then the cost, obviously keeping in mind the length of your stay, which sometimes I like to point out that it can be more affordable for you to study abroad for a semester or for a longer period of time than for a summer, which is counterintuitive because the dollar amount for a summer is cheaper. A 4-week program may be $4,000 versus a semester program, which may be $9,000, just as, some random numbers. But during the semester, you may receive scholarships and financial aid and have more resources available to you that you can put towards your study abroad versus the summer, which may be entirely out of pocket. So let's say you have $6,000 during the semester to put towards that $9,000 fee. Your out of pocket is only going to be $3,000 versus the summer. Let's say none of your scholarships and financial aid are available for that $4,000 program. So it's actually more out of pocket. Flights are often more expensive, during the summer, which is peak travel time. So just some things to consider. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from going on a summer program, but I just like to encourage you to think about longer because that can often make it more affordable for you to stay for longer, which is often, a surprise for students. Definitely looking at the location, is there a language that you're looking to study? Do you have, a family heritage that you're looking to explore? But I think one really important thing to consider are your personal goals. And I would also tack on academic goals and professional goals, because, you might have this preconceived idea that, you want to study abroad in Barcelona, where we do not have a program. But Barcelona is beautiful. It's amazing. I've been there. It's an amazing city. It's also huge. Has tons of tourists all year round. If you're looking to study Spanish, they speak a lot of Catalan there as well as Spanish. So you might not be as immersed in Spanish as you're expecting. And you may not meet many locals because it is, going to be harder in such a large city with a lot of tourists to really meet some locals. So you want to think about what your goals are. Do you want to speak a certain language? Do you want to meet locals? Do you want to do community service? Do you want to travel? What are those goals, and how can the location and the program really meet your needs? Also, considerations for LGBTQ plus students, researching the climate of the location. Is it a welcoming environment? Is it not? What is your level of comfort with either of those situations? So definitely researching the diversity climate of the location. And internships, is that something that you want to participate in? And if so, keep that in mind when you're looking at programs. So just some considerations to keep in mind. In terms of finances, we kind of put this at the forefront because we want you to remember that money shouldn't be your excuse for not doing this. Even if you do have a limited budget, limited financial aid and scholarships, we are a nonprofit organization and we're known for affordable programs, and we can, we're happy to work with you to try to find a program that's going to fit within your budget. Whether that, ends up being a shorter summer program, or if you get a lot of scholarships and financial aid during the semester that you can put towards your study abroad, maybe it's a more affordable location, during the semester. So, we are here to work with you and help you with, financial planning. For example, we have interactive budget sheets on our website. Whenever you look at any program for any term, so these are all program and term specific. If you're looking at the fees for a program, you can click on the interactive budget sheet link, and it will take you to this fillable PDF document on our website where you can actually come up with a full total of what your study abroad is going to cost. So that includes not just the program fee and housing, but estimated meals, local transportation, any visas you might need, any immunizations you might need, any optional field trips you might want to add on. You know, it adds everything up. So we really want to help you plan out what your costs are going to be, and you know how you can make it affordable. You can apply all federal financial aid to our programs, and then university specific scholarships are really going to vary by your university. So you'll want to talk to your study abroad office, you know, about that and how that works. Scholarships are also available. We have scholarships through USAC. There are also scholarships through national organizations. I never encourage students to bank on scholarships. You want to be able to afford a program without them, because that way, you know, if you don't get one that you were planning on, you can still study abroad. If you do get it, it just takes off, you know, that much of a burden, or maybe covers, you know, your flight and some of your housing or some things you weren't expecting to have covered. So we definitely have scholarships. We have, I'm going to show you if in a second, if I can make it work, the USAC Money Matters section of our website. But if you go into our website, there's a section from the main menu that says Money Matters. That's where all of our scholarships are, tips for applying for scholarships, webinars on financial planning, all sorts of different things. We also have flexible payment options. So you can, we have a financial aid deferment process. So if you're receiving a lot of financial aid that is not going to be available to you until after our payment deadlines, you can defer those payments until you receive your aid. We have installment plan options, so you can pay for your program fee, you know, not all at once, but in a couple different payments. So we really do, you know, we're willing to work with you to make it work. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. We also have a scholarship coordinator, and that's the email for the scholarship coordinator, who can work with you on applying for scholarships, financial planning, all sorts of different things. And then you have your home university study abroad and financial aid offices as well. And one thing to note about our fees, our program fees, is that they're not on a per credit basis. So if the program fee for the term is $5,000, that's for 12 credits or 18 credits. It's not, you know, it's the same regardless. And this graphic just shows you, you know, it's just a selection of our, you know, 50 plus programs, but we've taken in these locations the program fee, the housing, airfare, visa, food, and estimated personal expenses, and added them up to show you, you know, an average cost for a semester in that location. So you can see there's a wide variety, but there are also some that are probably going to be comparable to what you may be spending, you know, to go to college right now. We have two different program models, and so we just like to highlight this just to show, you know, just so you know when you're looking at programs. We have specialty programs and partnership programs. Our specialty programs are USAC created and managed, and so we have staff on site, our resident directors, and they have staff that they work with who essentially build and manage the program every term. So they are the ones who are, you know, booking your housing and meeting your group at the airport. They're working with the university there to offer classes on the program, to offer the same classes, new classes. So they're managing the academics. They're there in case you have a crisis or health emergency. So there's a lot of support on the specialty programs. There are activities and field trips and optional tours and things that are included or possible as add-ons. Your classes are with other USAC students. Some of our specialty programs do have the opportunity to allow you to enroll in host university courses, but those are typically just one or two. Most of your classes will be with other students on the USAC program. And then, you know, there are opportunities that our resident directors and our staff can connect you with: internships, volunteering, surface learning, things like that. So there's more support typically on those programs, but there are also going to be maybe fewer courses available but they'll be all within a specific academic specialty. So in Reggio Emilia, Italy, for example, the courses are all either in education, communications, health studies, some Italian language, but that, you know, each specialty program has a certain area of academic focus. versus the partnership programs. These are direct enroll programs where you're directly enrolled at the university overseas, and you're getting an international credit from, you get a transcript from that university that transfers back. And you have access to either the full curriculum at that university, so any courses, or a restricted curriculum, but that is very broad for international students. There are a lot of courses offered in English. Now we don't have staff on all of these programs, with the exception of London and Cork, Ireland. We partner with the university overseas, and they facilitate your orientation and your airport pickup and any activities they may offer. They basically, provide all the services that our staff would provide. And that's intentional. These universities that we partner with for partnership programs, they have very established study abroad programs, and it's not, we're trying to keep our programs as affordable as possible. And so it doesn't make sense to add on cost to duplicate their efforts by having a USAC office with staff there. So we partner with them, and you take part in their, support services. And you're typically in classes with other local university students or other international students. And then you have access to all the clubs and activities and things, at the host university, which you typically have as well, on the specialty program. So just some of the basic differences, in between those two program types. There are often more scholarships for specialty programs, because we do have some donor scholarships for those. And, whereas in the partnership programs, you are directly enrolled and maybe a bit more immersed in the university community, the specialty programs, our on-site staff are there to help you take advantage of immersion opportunities so that you can, be more immersed in the university. Our specialty programs are based at universities. Our staff are there at the university on campus. Your classes are on campus. You can use all the facilities there at the university. So lots of opportunities there too. So just two different program models. And this just gives you a list of all of our specialty programs, which you'll see, except for the England and Ireland summer programs, they're all non-English speaking. So that's why, we've created a program there to provide that extra support and the classes you may need that are not available at those universities. And then our partnership programs are, the vast majority are English speaking. Again, you have access to the full curriculums, international office staff who are supporting you, or there are places like Netherlands or Sweden, or Japan, where Korea, where so much of the curriculum is already taught in English that you have access to so many courses, and the staff speak English. So you don't necessarily need us to build you a program. In terms of additional activities that students have on our programs, we have field trips on all of our specialty programs. They're included in the program fee. There's also some larger optional tours. Again, our intent with this is so that you can customize the experience. So, if you're going to Po, France, and you don't want to spend the extra $500 on the Paris tour, you don't have to, but you can if you want. But there are regional field trips to different areas, in the Pyrenees, in the Basque Country, some other places in the region around Po that are going to be included in the program. And then in terms of immersion opportunities, they're going to vary by program, but there's so many options for either language partners with other students or buddy partners or programs. If language isn't your goal, but you just want to meet local students, if you want to join university clubs, sports organizations, volunteering, there are a ton of options for you. And then we do offer internships on both program types. For specialty programs, those are, we collaborate with the staff overseas, with our on-site staff. You apply after you've been accepted, into the program, after you've applied and been accepted to the USAC program, you complete the internship application, and they are credit bearing, so 1 to 3 credits depending on how many hours you're going to intern, and they are finalized on site, so they're not something you can finalize prior to arrival, but they are finalized once you get on site. And they're in addition to your 12 credits. So you take a minimum of 12 credits of academic coursework, and then you can do an internship on top of that. So it doesn't count as one of the minimum 12 credits. And partnership internships are organized by the host university overseas. There are some of those available as well, and you apply through them once you've applied and been accepted to the program. And all the, kind of varies by program, but again, they're going to be finalized on site, and you'll get credit through that university. In terms of other resources that you have as you're, getting more information and planning your study abroad, we have a team of very skilled and knowledgeable program advisors, and they're divided up by region, sometimes country, sometimes region. So they are experts in the programs that they advise on. So they are going to be able to answer any of your general program questions, anything about visas, housing, cultural information, they're going to provide you with packing lists and help you fill out the housing form. Once you're accepted, they are your lifeline and support until you get there, and even after if you have questions for them. We also have a scholarship advisor, like I said earlier, who will work with students on their scholarship essays and also looking at financial planning, things like that. And then other resources, we have our website, usac.edu. So our general website, we have a search bar, which you'll see in a couple slides. So there's a search bar right there when you open the website where you can put in, your major and fall 21, and it'll bring up any programs that have your major during fall 21. We can also provide you with a past participant list. So if you are deciding between Alicante and San Sebastian, but you're just not really sure, and you want to talk to students who went to both of those locations, we can connect you with those students so that you can get, some firsthand information. We also have a great blog, a lot of which is student curated content. So reading about, like one post I just read about that was really interesting was a student who completed a virtual internship over the summer through an organization in Ghana. And so it was really cool to read about that and her experience. So definitely check out the blog. And then we have these continuous info sessions. So this is the general one, but if you want to go back to the page on the website where you found this one, you'll see all of the program specific info sessions if you want to learn more about specific programs. But the website is definitely going to be your most up-to-date source for all information. Two new opportunities that we have. I mentioned virtual internships. So our Global Perspectives program is an online or virtual program. So we have both online courses available, and then we have virtual internships. And the online courses, you can take anywhere from 1 to 6 classes. It's up to you, a la carte style, mix and match. Just take one to complement, your home university courses, whatever. And they're in areas such as business, health and wellness, languages, and international affairs. And then the virtual internships are, as the name implies, internships that you complete with our internship hosts at our specialty program locations. And those are completed virtually. So, right now during a time when people aren't able to travel as much, this still gives you that professional and cultural experience of completing an internship for an international company. So it's a really great way to get that experience. For the accelerated spring programs, that's a new term that we're offering. Originally, the idea came about because of quarter system students who were not, their fall semester was canceled and they can't study abroad in a regular spring semester. And so this shortened 90-day program term evolved, but it's available to anybody. So, quarter students who just maybe want to go for longer than a summer, but aren't able to go for a full semester. Maybe you want to come back, this would be January to March. Maybe you come back in March and you take accelerated courses through your home university and you're just trying to knock out a lot of credits, whatever. So these are the locations where we have that new term. One of the advantages is that you most likely don't need a visa in most of these locations because of the shorter duration. They're also about 20% more affordable than the full semester. So again, if you're trying to go abroad for longer than like a 4-week summer program, but a full semester is too expensive or just isn't going to work, these are a great option as well. And in terms of getting started, so you've gotten a lot of information about USAC and our programs and opportunities available to you. You know, the first place I would go is the website, usac.edu. And you'll see this program finder, this toolbar. So that's a great way to start narrowing down programs that offer classes in your major, or if you're searching more by location, if you know, are more flexible, whatever. So you can explore, you know, locations, terms, what classes are available to you. If you need syllabi for any of those classes, there are course descriptions online, and sometimes syllabi for the partnership programs, but we can always provide those to you if you need them for course approvals. If you have any questions, that's our main email account, studyabroad@usac.edu. And I actually share the responsibility of checking that email with another colleague. So, you know, you can email us any questions and we'll either answer them or we will, you know, get your question to the right person who can answer it. You can also email a program advisor. Their contact information is on our website under About USAC. And then you can apply if you find a program that works for you. So there's an Apply Now button at the top left of every page of our website. And then you can also attend further info sessions or register and get the recording afterwards. We will, you know, we're hosting at least 2 every day, I think, for the next, you know, for the rest of the fall at least. And they're, you know, going to focus more on specific programs. So you can, you know, attend any of those if you want to meet the program advisor and learn any more about those programs. And you can also, like I said, you can email a program advisor who you might want to talk to about a specific region or country, and they can also schedule a virtual meeting or appointment with you. So that is the presentation. Again, if you do have any questions about any of this information or next steps or any of our programs, please feel free to email us at studyabroad@usac.edu. Definitely visit our website at usac.edu. This is our blog. Like I said, it's really interesting. Some of the content is created by USAC, but a lot of it is written by students, and you can read about their experiences, and it's pretty cool. And that's our phone number. If you're old-fashioned, you want to pick up the phone. Let me